go. And then I can see the chat in here too. So let's see
Yeah,
how this
man.
goes.
Yeah, we got the chat too. Absolutely.
So the YouTube comments come through right here to us.
Yeah, they come up and
Ooh.
then you see it on the left side there.
I'm in the little chat window. Let's
Yeah,
see. I'll
yeah.
close this out.
It'll be a few minutes
Oh,
before
hmm.
people kind of pop in. See,
Whoa, what? Oh, interesting.
when did you get that tattoo on your head?
Oh, like a month ago? Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Can I see?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta see that thing. That thing. I'm like, I did not see that last time.
Oh, no, it's
That's
new. It's
sweet.
funny. I was looking over here. I'm in the loft of my place,
Yeah,
and there's like another separate section that's just mini attic. I don't even go in there, but the
yeah.
light's on. Like the light, I didn't even know there was a light in there. I guess I must have flipped a light switch when I got back home. I was like turning everything back on, and guess we did that one. Anyway, but yeah, that got you a little view of the new edition. Just got that
Damn.
about a month ago.
How did that feel?
Oh, you know, it
I
was
know. I
about.
know what. I know
Mhm,
what this felt like. I don't
mhm.
even want to know what that felt like.
Yeah, it was like 4 hours. I actually have the back of my head done too. It's actually connected in
Holy
all the way from
shit.
this side to the back.
Let me see. Oh, damn. That looks super dope, though.
And then we're gonna get this done in
Uh-huh.
2023. This is coming too. So anyway, it's a work in process or progress, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
yeah, there's like 4 or 5 hours each, and it's like one break in the middle just to kind of stretch it out and let it go. But yeah, for the most part, bearable. Not too bad. There were some certain spots for sure, like the
yeah.
bottom corner of my skull, up more towards the like my scalp, like top part was more sensitive, but you know we
Yeah,
got through it.
all the power to you, man. I don't know. Like I did the I only have two. I have this one
Mm,
that I got done by a guy in Guatemala, and
mm,
I that was 2 sessions, and I was like, I don't like this tattoo game, like at
mm.
all. And then I had the first one on my leg, but that was in Thailand when I was so drunk and 19 or 22 or
Oh wow.
23
Okay,
years
so you've
old.
had
So
some interesting tattoo experiences.
yeah, and that was bamboo. That was done by hand
Yeah,
with
yeah.
bamboo.
I thought it might
Yeah,
be something like that. Wow, that's a very
yeah,
different kind of thing. Hmm.
yeah. But don't remember much of that one. That one was a lot easier.
Yeah, I
But
have about
Marjorie,
10
what's
by
yeah,
now, all from all
10
different
now?
places. Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Washington,
that's
Utah, Mexico. I got it, Alaska, New York. Yeah, from all over. Just like
yeah.
collecting pieces as we go.
I love it. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Marjorie, Lil Wolf, what's going on? Michelle, who you all obviously know. Devin,
Mm-hmm.
Brenda, what's up? We got 17 people in here so far. We'll just kind of start rolling. This is episode
Sure.
26 of Alive with Joey, Raw, Open, Vulnerable, and a guest that I've been like, people have been requesting for since this has become an idea. Even they were
Mm-hmm.
like, you need to get Robert on here. So I'm super stoked to have you, dude. Thanks for coming.
For sure. Happy to be here. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
man.
People are requesting me, and yeah,
Yeah,
here we
dude.
are. Yeah.
Yeah, here we are. So tell I guess the ones that don't know you, probably everyone does, but I mean, for those who don't know who Mr. Robert is, or Reiki
Mm-hmm.
Robert, as you're known on social, a little bit
Mm-hmm.
about yourself.
Yeah, I would never assume everyone in here knows who I am by any means. I'm sure we have some, cross pollination. Some of my
Sure.
people have seen me and know you, but yeah, my name is Robert. You might know me or might not. I'm Reiki Robert, Reiki, on all socials on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. So I'm a Reiki Master. I do sound baths for people. So that's meditations for people. I'm just here trying to connect in and like hold good space, good groups for people to be able to
Yeah.
relax and kind of reconnect in with themselves. And yeah, just on the path to keep kind of guiding others, stepping into a space to keep others, supported on their healing journey in these different ways and different modalities. So through energy healing, sound healing, just
Right.
positive encouragement and support. But yeah, I'm here. So I've known Joey for a few months now. Same, met him on
Yeah.
social media as it goes, like on TikTok a while ago. And
Yeah.
yeah, happy to be on the show tonight. Just kind of
Cool,
drop
man.
in, say hi to your people.
Yeah. Well, we're super grateful to have you. I don't. Lil Wolf says, "I don't know you. State your business." She's aggressive, but we love her so much. She guards the gates with knives, so we're good.
Mm.
She's great. So tell me a little bit of like what got you into energy healing? What got you into Reiki? Like, I'd love
Mm.
to know how you even found that lane or fell into that, or
Yeah,
how
it
it
was
found you.
Sure, it kind of seemed that way. It kind of seemed that way. So I got connected with Reiki. I really started receiving sessions from somebody that I knew like 10 years earlier. So a decade earlier, different state, kind of where I was just out of high school. But then fast forward down the road, and I saw they shared something just saying that they were open to accepting new Reiki clients and just want to kind of work with family and friends, and they're just getting going on this. I'm like,
Sure.
okay. Or they've only been working on like close friends, ready to expand the circle. So I'm in the barely expanded circle. I reach out and I'm interested in this, and I thought I could get a session with her, but then it turns out she lives across the state, 3-4 hours away. And then she says it's no problem. We can just do this session remotely. That's totally fine. I'm like, okay, sure thing. So we set up a time and get on a call and go through this session. And from the very first session, I was shocked by how I can feel the energy. Where I've
Right.
meditated before, I'm used to what I feel like. I know what my room feels like, and then to feel this kind of beam or this energy and start to scan down through and then start to move things, and I'm feeling this energy kind of stream and pulse through my body. And over this next 45 minutes or hour long session, I'm just in it and just witnessing what's going on and kind of amazed. So after that, even just through the session after the work, getting more insight about how much she was able to pick up on me, like what's going on
Mm,
with me and
mm,
what she's perceiving. And I'm just listening, like, how do you know? How do you know all these things? Because yes, that sounds really true with kind of what's going on in my life or at work or relationship. And it was, yeah, just fascinating. So I'm feeling really good. I slept amazing. I'm having like beautiful dreams. The next day I'm charged. I'm ready to go. I just like, okay. And I decided to keep on going with that. I'm like, can we get another one the next week? And I'm just enjoying this process, feeling
mm.
lighter, feeling more
Uh-huh.
consistent. It's helping me set that like my natural rhythm, and I get more stable in my energy. I feel more just things just become easier, more flow in a way. And this continues for a few months. I ended up working with a couple other practitioners doing NLP and then
Mm-hmm.
biofeedback. So
Yep.
I'm trying to really release the energetic charge and emotional charge with these traumatic experiences previously in my life or childhood or anywhere throughout, helping find those and just helping just diffuse that charge and any limiting beliefs that I have, kind of
Right.
reprogramming my internal story and kind of
Sure.
subconscious. And then biofeedback is kind of a digital version of energy reading, kind of
Right.
scans your field and can see where there are any imbalances, hormonal
Yeah.
imbalances, anything through the organs. And I'm doing Reiki, NLP, biofeedback because I'm just in this space that I feel I want to just keep working on myself and get more clear and have these other people help me just get as me as I can. So after a few months, one day I just started like channeling energy. I don't know how else to say
Yeah,
it. I just
dude.
started
Yeah.
meditating and I get like plugged in and energy starts kind of going through my arms. And then I realized that I can start to work with energy too. And I reach
Yeah,
out
man.
to my Reiki master I'd been receiving sessions from and have her, request to be taken on as a student. I want to start learning. And then we take the next few months just studying, practicing on myself at first, doing sessions with kind of close family and
Yeah.
friends. And then this was just right in 2020. And then where I was working at a gym actually was just shut down, just as many of us, where we were shut down. And I just went on the new path. I told them I wasn't going to come back. I kind of sold everything I had. I ended up moving to Kauai just to go with like all of the people out there. I know there's all of the
Yeah.
artists and musicians and healers and hippies. And like, this is my people. I'm going to go be with them on the island and just dive fully into this kind of work. So that
So
was
was it
my path
was
pretty much.
I love it. So was it like, because I talk a little bit about how I got in hypnosis and leading that, and was it just a pull? Like, was it just a knowing, like,
Mm,
shit, this is it? Like, that you can't explain it, because I tell people about that, and until that moment when I knew I had to go train to do what I do now,
mm,
I hadn't had a that I was aware of consciously, a pull or moment of intuitive, like, get going now. This is what you're doing, until like that was the moment for me.
mm.
Was that a similar moment for you, or was it more?
It felt like progressive moments, like consecutive
Yeah.
moments in time where I'd
Okay.
be I'd be meditating and I'm in this lockdown reality where now I
Right.
just have every day open and free and I'm getting out in nature and I'm taking my time journaling and meditating and
Yep.
I'm just seeing this vision. I'm like this
Yeah.
tropical island. I'm seeing myself going, just I'm
Yeah.
being pulled this way. So it was like, okay, I got reminded enough times that that this is the path. And as I'm starting to branch out and work with more people and take on more clients and actually receiving the feedback like that, I am helping people, like
Yeah,
really deeply
right,
helping people in ways
right.
that I'm being surprised. That this is new to me, as I'm seemingly, I've only done this for 1 month, it feels like, but then I'm getting this feedback that is so incredible from people, and how their pain is really like relieving in a lot of ways, and how they're sleeping better, and how their anxiety just kind of like dissipates, and all of these kinds of things, that I'm just getting feedback that the work that I'm doing is really helping people, and I seem to have a pretty natural like aptitude for it. And
Yeah,
that's what I want to do, is help people. I was doing that
right.
physically. I was in the gym for a long
Yeah,
time, training, thousands of people. And that was beautiful and amazing, and got me to work
right.
one on one with others and develop my, ability to communicate and hold space and all
Sure.
of these things. But now it's working in a different way to keep helping people. That's really what it comes back to. So that's how I look at it, is I found this other lane that just felt like the pull. Yeah. And it was just really clear. This is the next move.
Yeah, I'd love that because you said something that resonates a lot. It's that, oh, I've only been doing this for a little while. It's like
Mm,
when I started doing what I'm doing, it's like a little while, but it's like it was the feeling of like, whoa, it's familiar, but the soul knows how familiar this is,
right. Yeah.
but
Like
the
so
mind
intuitive,
goes,
right?
right. So it's
Mm,
like, yeah, a couple months, but how many lifetimes, right?
yeah.
How many lifetimes have you stepped into this role in one way or another?
Yeah, that's what it
Right.
feels like too. Like so much is just intuitive, and I'm just letting it kind of happen through me in a way, because there's that innate knowing that's just happening. I don't need to force anything or try to like overthink it or manage it. It's
Yeah.
just letting that kind of experience and natural flow, just gets confidence, like the knowing that I'm going to get this done in the best way, even if it's different or new, or just not limiting myself. Just having that trust is huge.
Has that evolved over, starting your business, getting more clients? Have you had
Mm-hmm.
times where because I know how in the beginning of these endeavors or these journeys, you were so excited, you were so fired up, and
Mm-hmm.
ha, has it shifted? Has it changed? Do you feel like you want to do more, expand on what you're doing? Like, how has that changed over the last few years?
Yeah, it's been an interesting shift, because I started with doing the Reiki and energy work for people, and I was um yeah, even just doing live streams like that, and just kind of connecting
Right.
in with however many people, a few dozen or maybe 100 people, and just being able to just send Reiki. And that's the beautiful part of that too, is that it is universal. It's everywhere. We're already all connected to it. So to be able to access those spaces and work with people that way was awesome. And after that, a few months into the things and living in Hawaii, I was introduced to sound baths, and I had never been in one before. I wasn't really
Mm,
familiar, kind of just in the periphery, kind of know about the bowls and things like that. But I had an experience there where I was just seeing it all. I'm like, wow, that was
okay.
really powerful. I'm just laying there, and there's this natural kind of like catharsis, these little like vibrations of just energy moving through my body, my nervous system just like releasing tension and letting it go. And I'm just letting the waves of sound and energy, the sound bath just wash over me. And to have that experience, like how powerful that was, I ended up ordering myself a set of bowls the next day. I said, I want to do sound baths. Like that was awesome. I'm doing this. So I just ordered them and just started to learn, got them a week later. They got shipped to Hawaii, and got them set up and start figuring out which ones sound good together, and how like hard to press it and how fast to like rotate around to make them sound good. And then I just went in it just like that. Never had anybody like teach me or really show me how. And I didn't need to. I'm just playing. It's just playing
Right.
and having fun and
Wow.
sharing it, and not expecting anything or trying to be anything. But
Oh,
it
I
seemed to
love that.
bring a lot of people a lot of peace. It seemed to bring a lot of people just that, kind of comfort, and being able to come to those spaces consistently where you see the same kinds of people, and everyone's showing a lot of love and to each other on the internet, which is not always easy to come across.
Right.
It's not
Yeah.
always easy. Anybody can come in. It's the Wild West. And then to have hundreds of people who are just supportive and encouraging and there in just a really good way together is really beautiful. So that's something that came up, that was new just within the past couple of years. And then getting through into guided meditations and being able to combine all three of these things, where I
Yeah,
can be
man.
doing Reiki, sending that universal life force, that energy just towards you, around you, guiding you through a journey and experience where a lot of this is just internal and unique to you. So you might see a slightly different thing than somebody else does, but that's kind of the beautiful part about that. And then helping create that space and supporting the energy just with the bowls, just being able to work those in. And I was doing, weekly meditations, those sound baths, meditations, Reiki sessions. I just recently stopped doing them every single week, but that was going for about a
Right.
year and a half. So that
Wow.
has been, yeah, shifting and just morphing. I started teaching Reiki just a few months ago. I did my
Oh,
first run through. I had 8 students that I took through Reiki 1 and 2, help them with the
yes.
attunements, do weekly calls, check in, and make sure they're getting sessions with each other and getting the feedback. And so that was pretty cool too. That's another thing I'll be doing going forward as well. Just continuing to bring others into it that want to learn and want to share this too.
Brother, I'm like, I'm just proud of you, man. Like, I don't know you that well,
Thank
but
you.
like, I feel the same, very similar kind of journeys. For me, it started with the same thing. I remember going onto TikTok in 2020, just going on talking about hypnosis, talking about what I do. And
Hmm.
then it was like, well, let's play with energy a bit. And I think the first live, we're like, well, let's meditate. I did a 5-minute meditation about, just feeling the energy in our hands, which is a
Hmm.
pretty basic thing, but not a lot of people have ever really truly been present with what their
Right.
body has within them.
Right.
And and then it's been 2 years now where it's been the guided
Hmm.
meditations every Sunday. And um, you nailed it, man. You nailed it when you said, you're just providing a space for everyone to have the experience that they're meant to have,
Yeah.
right? No one's going to have the same thing, and it's important that we stay open to having what we need, what we're kind of guided to have.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, some people are so visual, and some people just start seeing colors almost seemingly the
Right,
second they close their eyes. They're just
right.
in a whole other world, where some have much more difficulty really like imagining and envisioning things, and that's okay. So finding just different ways to really make it accessible to all different types of people with different backgrounds and different ways of, yeah, like, comprehending information and
Hmm.
how to put it all together in a way that everyone can access in some way. So that's
Right.
been the fun part about it too, just learning as we go and getting better in that craft and honing that skill of presenting and guiding people through those journeys.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
what do you experience when you're guiding? I'm sure that has evolved, but it also changes maybe session to session or sound bath to guided meditation. But
Hmm.
are you a visual person? Like, are you, when you're in the zone, are you seeing these?
A lot of the
Are you?
time, yeah, it's
Yeah.
more like I'm seeing it and then
Right.
seeing what I'm seeing, like I'm there. I was like, wow, that's cool. Like something, we're in a castle and it starts like raising up into the sky in this beam of white light. I'm like, okay, the castle's going up, fam. And everything's white everywhere. And I just see like
Right.
the energy buzzing, and I feel a lot like when I'm there, especially with a group and there's all that energy connected, everybody there in that same moment.
Yep.
And yeah, it's, ooh, I feel it a lot physically. I get
Yeah.
very, like, I vibrate a lot and kind of shake a lot when I'm doing energy work. Um, and yeah, then other times it's, yeah, not as much. It's interesting how it goes.
Yep.
Sometimes you just get really tapped in and get like such a clear vision of something as you describe it. And then a lot of it is just like a really stream of consciousness where there's kind of
Yep.
messages and guidance coming through. It's more or less general, but there can be those specific points that connect with people. Like that's what they needed to hear. And I don't know who this one is for,
Right.
or who this one is for,
Right. Right.
or
Right.
who
Right.
this one is for, but it's just that guidance and it's just through me. I'm not like thinking, oh, this would be
Same.
smart to say. It's just
Same.
floating here and it's like, oh, get it and
Yep.
send it through and send it through. And
Yeah.
all of these things are just through that experience and space that gets created. They seem to just kind of come up and they're just there. So letting yourself tune into it, being so clear, being that clear channel, that's really the kind of goal, how I see it anyways. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to create the most
Yeah.
cool, epic thing, just to be clear, just to allow that
No.
thing to come through.
Same. And I think, every week I try to have somewhat of a theme. I try to, I guess maybe it's the pressure I put on myself, but I want to be able to create something kind of fresh every week,
Hmm.
somewhat fresh.
Yeah.
And, I'll have an outline, but I'll never really know what I'm going to say or what's going to come through, I should say.
Right.
And that's the most beautiful experiences that I have as leading these meditations, is just being
Hmm.
like, okay, this is where we're gonna go, and all of a sudden it's like, woof, 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 and it's like, okay, this is for someone, I know that, and we'll just go with it. And
Right.
like a lot of the time, and my body's just completely filled with energy. I'm in full goosebumps for the
Yeah.
25, 35, 40 minutes that I'm leading. And then the next day, people are like, that was beautiful. And that time when you said this and this, and I'm like, what? I don't remember that at all. I don't remember saying anything like that. But yeah.
It really is almost like you dive in and then you just keep
Uh-huh.
like swimming through and then you finally come out the other side and you're like, whew, like, okay,
Yeah.
wow, like that was a journey, huh? And you have to like look back, like, oh, where did we go? Like, like I
Uh-huh.
was here with everybody, but it just happened to be, the words coming through, kind of guiding. But I totally get that
Yeah.
too, where you almost forget everything that happened, all the little details.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's okay.
But I know when I come out like the other side, if you will, or like,
Yeah.
everything's over, I feel like, oh, that was good. Like I don't know
I
what it
know.
was, but it felt
Yeah.
really, really good.
Sometimes I'll get that, and I was like, "That's the one. That's the one right there." I
Yeah.
gotta like tell a couple people if you weren't there, go watch this one
Yeah.
specifically. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can feel it. You're gonna like this one. Like, trust. I
Yeah.
do them a lot, but this, every once in a while.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
Do you find you find if you put sometimes pressure on yourself or unneeded pressure on yourself, because I found that where it's like, I just love, I have this just desire to always, not produce, not, I don't know what the word is, but I want to be able to give something beautiful every time I show up.
Yeah.
And so I found myself over the few years, not always, but I've, stressed out a little bit going into it, putting maybe more pressure than was needed
Mm.
on, and then those would never be as organic, as flowy as the
Right.
ones that I just went in joyful, lighthearted with. So did you
hmm
ever find yourself in that energy?
Mm. Not as much the pressure. I just let it go. I just let it ride.
Cool, man.
It isn't always easy to be in that space of just kind of like
Right.
surrendering to it, like whatever it is, and just acceptance. Like this is, it doesn't need to be spectacular, and every single
Mm.
one is so like wild, creative, unique,
Right.
totally
Yeah.
different, like a whole world
Yeah.
I need to craft. Like it doesn't need to be
Hmm.
that, which is
Yeah.
kind of like letting because I do think, yeah, that part does come up sometimes. So it is a lesson that's continually like shown. Like you can just get over that piece. It's okay. It can be simple. Simple can be profound.
Yeah. Oh,
Oftentimes
yeah.
that is the most profound things are the most simple. Like that's when it's the light bulb moment. It's not the most complex, like little subtleties just dropped
Yeah.
in, like subliminal. Like, no, it doesn't
Right.
have to necessarily be that way. It can be the most simple things, could be the most profound. But
Yeah, agreed. And that
mhm.
and that's something over the last 6 months for me. It's like, oh, let's go back to basics. Let's just really
Yeah.
connect to the earth. Let's connect to
Yes.
our breath again. Let's connect
Yeah.
to, in our, feeling what's in our body right now. And
Right.
a lot of those have been the most profound. Even for me
Yeah.
leading,
hmm
thinking like I need to be creative and do something new, a new journey with the
Yes.
inner child or
Yes.
whatever the
Right.
case may be. It's like, no, let's just go back to the
hmm
basics. And it's just been, oh wow, that's what we really needed here.
hmm
Yeah.
And the more you do it too, it's like you keep getting a chance to refine that to make it even more accessible for people. Like that's one of the best
Yeah.
ways to learn is to continue to teach or to continue to like practice
Yeah.
the thing, right? So you're like, oh, it might be more basic in a way, but then you go back to it and how do you present it in a kind of new, slightly different, more accessible way?
Yeah, and
hmm
and we call it basic, because let's say we've been on this journey for 3, 4, 5 years, but I think it's important to remember those who are just coming out of the dark night, or those who are
Right.
just
hmm
just just starting
hmm
to go, what the hell's a crystal bowl? What the hell's a
Right.
meditation? Like, and it's like they come across your live, and it might just be one out of the 200 or 300 people there, but that's so important because you can
hmm
plant that seed, or you can give them that space to have an experience that truly does and can change their whole life, because we've all had those
hmm
experiences, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what got me into it. It was just one sound bath and then
Yeah,
boom. Then
man.
that sea was just like, one match can light like I have infinite
Yeah,
candles, the same kind of thing. Like I had
yeah.
that kind of torch passed to me, lit up and immediately just took off. And I've had other people tell me like I'm getting a bowl. I got my first one
I'm
today. And
getting
then
both.
it's awesome. I love hearing it from people and how they bring them into their space and yeah, it makes me happy.
Did Did you have any like musical background before you bought those bowls, or were just like, nope, I'm just gonna go
Some,
into
yeah,
this?
some.
Yeah.
Like I play the ukulele and guitar
Okay,
and
cool,
drums,
cool.
and I played the saxophone growing up. That was the first instrument I played. For some
You
reason, we
only
have
so you
like,
only play like 9 instruments. That's cool. Okay, gotcha.
yeah. I know I got the handpan too, so that's a new one. I just got
Yes.
that like 3 months
Oh,
ago or so.
so good.
And then adding in little things, we got some chimes over here, little chimes and little pieces I can add into the sound bath here and there. But it's coming along. So yeah, a few things. Like I was in choir when I was in school
Yeah,
too.
cool.
I have a really musical family too. Everybody plays
Nice.
instruments. So like, yeah, piano, violin, trumpet, or, being in different choirs. And yeah, like my dad was in the Mormon Tabernacle Choir for several years too. And then my grandma was in there and one of my aunts was. So like just being in Utah, so they were like deep in the
Very
choir
cool.
and
Right.
singing and music would be like family
Right.
reunions and events, and then they'd all start singing. It's like all my aunts and uncles, and they're like literally to be like musical. They have all their parts and harmonies, and they're like
Yeah.
actually really good at it.
So
So I was kind of around it a lot growing up, to be to be fair. So yeah, I was around music quite a bit growing up and just through the years.
well, I kind of figured you had a background. 'Cause I saw you on the handpan. I don't know
Mm.
what video it was I saw a little while ago, and I'm like, who's this guy? Like, I've never seen him with one of these yet, and he's just like absolutely smashing it. And I'm like, and I've always wanted to get one, but I don't know. I'd have to do a little bit more work than you, I think, to sound like that.
Maybe well, so I play the drums, so there's a part of
Yeah,
that kind of percussion and rhythm thing,
percussion.
and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then I did a lot of like the rhythm games, like Dance Dance Revolution, Guitar Hero, Rock
Yeah,
Band, like
yeah,
video,
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
that kind of that
Yeah,
type of thing, like helped with the
absolutely.
yeah coordination and rhythm and things like this. So with the handpan, like the note is the note is the note. All of them are hammered out individually, so it's okay. Just like just beat rhythm and then hand-eye
Right,
coordination.
right. That's so cool.
Mhm.
You we talked about how 2020 obviously threw the world for a loop.
Right.
Everything was thrown into the digital. I mean, we were all on screens for how long? I mean, but you said you've now been able to connect to community in a more personal way again, or in an in-person way. How has that shifted for you?
Yeah, it's been really nice. I actually just barely moved back to Utah, where I'm from. I lived here most of my life, like 27 years growing up. And I just moved back about 4 months ago. And since then, I've had the chance to actually go and share these sound baths with groups of people. I think it's been three or four so far where I had a chance to do, well, one of them was longer, a full like guided meditation and journey at a retreat that
Cool.
I went to, which was awesome. And then being able to do the closing sound baths after some dance events. So everybody goes in and just gets down for a few hours. And after that, all the energy is moved and they can just like
Hmm.
lay down, relax, and then just journey, like segue into the rest of the night, just kind of send them out on their way in a more relaxed, calm fashion and just really settling, calming, clearing the energy after all
Right.
the, sometimes like chaos as dance floors can be.
Yeah. Right.
So it's cool. I've had that opportunity a few times. The last one was just about a week ago. There's like 60 people there or so, and it's really different. Even having 60 people in a room versus 600 digitally, it's
Right.
just a different feel. Like it's not as many people, but I see the people. I'm in the
Wait.
space with the
Right.
people.
I was gonna say, how was that the first? I mean, yeah, like, because I get it. I've had times where leading a lot of people, but I
Hmm.
mean, I haven't yet led that many people, or even a third of that in person. How was that
Yeah.
for you the first time
No,
going into that?
it was really nice. Yeah, the first one I did was a full like hour long meditation sound bath journey. I just kind of set up there and I was like, listen, whoever wants to come in can come in. We're gonna do this for the time. And I just did exactly what I did otherwise. So it was nice not letting that affect me in a negative way, like getting nervous or kind of
Right.
getting in
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
head about this, like
Yeah.
the pressure of it. I was like, no, this is extra. This is just for fun. I just want to share this with
Beautiful.
everybody. Like it's all good. It's all love. Like there's no wrong way to do that. So that was really great. And even during it, there was I guess we can talk about anything on this, right? Yeah, anything.
Yeah, man.
So I didn't hear about this till after because I'm in my zone. I got my bowls. I'm doing the meditation. I'm doing a little like
Yeah.
Reiki work. So I didn't hear about this. But then one of my friends that was there, she's like, "Did you see the couple in the back?" I was like, "What?" They're like, "They were having like a full tantric experience to your sound bath for like half an hour in the back. They were just together, like vibrating, like in a whole zone there, connected, the energy like cycling through them." I was like, "Okay, that's good news. That's good news."
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, um,
I want to know
so
how she thought, like how you saw these people. Like, how was he supposed to see them?
it's good feedback. So it would have been in front of me. Yeah, just kind of towards the back of the room
Oh,
though. So it's kind of a bigger
okay. I thought
room.
it was
And at
behind
that
you.
one, there was maybe 15. There was maybe 15, 20, 20 people in this one. So it's a little more snug. It was at a really big like cabin at this retreat that I went to. So
Right.
big open space and people still kind of moving back and around. Just so I wasn't paying too much attention to the very back, but I guess that was
Sure.
going on. So yeah, good feedback on the first one. It went well. And then the others I've done after like dance events. So like I said, they've been going for a few hours and it's been really nice. I've gotten great feedback from everybody. It's just been all love. The community here
Oh.
in Utah and Salt Lake City has been super welcoming and supportive, welcoming me like back home. Um, and yeah, this is just the start. There's plenty more to come. Plenty more to come.
So, so that's interesting. Going back home, I was talking to you a little bit before the show. Is like you were saying how you got involved into communities that you didn't even know were there.
Mm-hmm.
Like such a new energy for you, going through how much growth you've gone through. You know, going to Kauai, moving back, going through all these different shifts in your life, and then coming home and kind of rediscovering your region, if you will.
Right.
That must be cool to see like all these different places that you didn't even know were there.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Like all of them are kind of overlaying each other. Like they all exist simultaneously in this
Right,
community and this, all this like more spiritual side of things and these like dance events where everyone it's conscious dance. There's no like drugs, no like nothing. Don't bring your phone in. Like don't
right,
respect everybody's space, and it's all ages and it's just super, yeah, above board. So it's not like get drunk, get wasted, party,
right. Of
dance. It's
course.
very, very much different. And these have just been happening, way, way before I've been coming to them, and they'll continue to
Right.
go for years after. And it's
Sure.
nice coming
Did we lose them?
from things
Am I?
like this.
Oh,
Like,
there we go.
oh, we're
Sorry.
back.
Yeah, we're back.
It's okay. But that's what yeah, just like you said, it's kind of interesting coming. We keep getting
Oh, we lost him.
disconnected. Are we
There
back?
we go.
Back?
Yeah, you're back. We're good.
Hopefully. All right.
Yeah, we're good.
Um, but yeah, good to be back in this new, different way, finding new communities and new events, and yeah, it's just naturally this your vibe attracts your tribe, as they
Yeah.
say, and it seems to be that way. Coming back to the same place, it's not all the same old friends that I had before that are like, oh, we're all the same friends again now. It's not that way, and it's no love lost. I'm not like I have nothing
Right, right, right.
against these people in any way. It's just different lifestyles, different perspectives, and kind of a natural separation in a way. We're just in
Right.
different places in our lives and our journeys and trajectory. And then we just naturally gravitate to these different circles. And then these new people that, I didn't know or have any connection with before just, appear and, different opportunities and events come through that didn't really have access to before. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, I think we've all seen that as we, just continue, whatever you want to call it,
Mhm.
evolving, growing. You
Sure.
have that natural falling away of old relationships, and
Oh, yeah.
in the beginning, it's hard, right? It's like for me, it was anyway. I got a lot
Hmm.
of good friends that aren't good. Not that they're not good friends. It's just I can't be in that anymore, or they can't be around me anymore. Maybe it's just the
Right.
conversations are just not where they were. It's not one's
Uh-huh.
better or one's worse. It's just
It's just
we're
different. Yeah, it's just
different.
different worlds like that like kind of commonality that might have been built in at 17 years old because you met in high school and you just want to whatever talk about girls and sports because you're 17 and
Right,
now you're grown up and there's other adventures and some people stay in that same path of things and they want to focus on these other like arenas where maybe you're not as interested in. Maybe you're more
right,
into self-development with your life and you have goals and you're maybe helping people and really expanding and changing. And some people stay more stagnant and that's like comfortable and that feels safe.
right.
And that might not just be the people you want to hang around if that's not what you want to do.
Yeah. Do you
Mhm.
notice that? I know for myself, as I've kind of dove into my healing, dove into this work, this expansion work, or
Mhm.
wanting to move forward, a lot of my friends kind of stayed where they were, which is fine. But I've been surprised over the last, like, going home. Have you been surprised by some people are like, wow, they're doing this too, where you never would have thought they would have
Mhm.
been moving into, like, anybody kind of diving into the work or
It's kind of a lot of people, just in different, in varying degrees. Some people
right.
are further into it, where they're really like diving into more like plant medicine work and shamanic
Yeah.
healing, and they want to dive down that road, and that's awesome. And other people is just even just getting like therapy, going to like getting any kind of
Yeah.
help. It seems
Yeah.
much more the thing now in many ways, where like, people are opening up to these different modalities and different ways to kind of connect in with your emotions and your feelings and trauma you might have, you are ready to work through now and address and figure out. And people taking accountability and responsibility for their life in different ways, and not just being the victim anymore, like I'm not stuck here. So people like are shaking it up and changing
Right.
things, and it's awesome. I see it in many areas, in small ways, where
Right. Same.
even just like with family, like the older generation, it can be harder to accept some kinds of things,
Hmm.
and being really,
Hmm.
like not judging and actually starting to ask questions and listen, and maybe there's something here. So
Yeah, like
mhm.
that's something I've really seen a lot of, especially my dad, my just that generation where, 5 years ago I wouldn't have had this conversation. But
Yeah,
but my dad started meditating in 2017, 18, and
nice.
it was like the massive shift for him. Like, we were
Yeah.
raised Catholic, so we were raised in a
Mm.
very, pretty strict environment, and
Mhm.
where God was this and that was it. But then he started to tap into himself, and it was just like, the conversations I was having with my dad. I'm like, is this real? Is this a real
So cool.
conversation? Yeah, man, really cool. So
Yeah.
yeah, so do you see that with your older generation? Like, I don't know who you got in your life in that older age group. Have you seen a shift there?
I've seen some. Just yeah, like my mom and stepdad, and even like my one of my aunts is a Reiki practitioner, someone that I would like never think, and she's in her 50s, and she just got into it, earlier this last year, and I was like, really?
Yes.
Huh? And I go talk to her, I ended up connecting with her, and I she'd only been doing it with her husband, my uncle. He had a
Right,
stroke
right.
several years ago, and he's been in recovery since then and doing therapy. And she thought this would be one way as well to help manage his pain and help with the recovery process. So she
I
actually
love
learned
it.
Reiki, and this is from a Mormon family, where that's
Right.
everybody. Like that's where I grew up in. Is like all my extended family, aunts, uncles, grandparents, everybody is Mormon, and we didn't know about Reiki. There is part of that religion where there are like blessings. You actually do like laying on of hands and like help with like healing and things
Mhm,
like this.
mhm.
And I remember receiving that as a kid. Once I got attacked by a dog, and then I ended up getting that, and I remember feeling this energy and this like heat and this warmth like go in and like and it's interesting now that there's this other kind of energy laying on of hands, and it doesn't need to be
Right.
that, but to find someone that would be open to something so similar, but not think like, oh, this is different and other than, so it's like not okay because it's like close to something that we already do, and it's this way, or this is what this means.
Well,
So yeah, it's cool that people are just opening up and expanding out to other things other than the entire life of what they've been exposed to.
I was gonna ask about that too, just being in Utah, and I know it's a
Hmm.
predominantly Mormon
Oh yeah.
community.
Hmm.
Like, I say when the Mormon community sees this new age spirituality, or Reiki, a
Hmm.
sound bath happening,
Hmm.
what's is that received? Is it just kind of like,
Hmm. I don't know. I'm not really tapped into the community these
yeah,
days, so I'm not sure. Hmm. I think right now the battle is probably more among the like LGBTQ community with the church, and as far as
mm,
like the level of how the members can be integrated and still a part of it, and like okay, but we're trying to be okay with it. So it seems to be like that's a lot of where the battle with the church is per se.
mm,
I don't even know. I think. if I had a sound bath out in the park, I'd have some Mormons come over and hang out and just listen. It's just sound. I think they'd be
Right,
fine. I don't think there'd be
exactly.
any issue with that as far as Reiki goes. I think it could maybe ruffle some feathers for the reasons I spoke about, because there's something else. They're like, okay, if you're doing it this, but you
Yeah,
don't have the priesthood, what they consider the priesthood. The only way that you'd be able to, transmit this energy from God, this healing energy, is
right.
through that. And then I'd be doing something else, and it's not that. So maybe there could be some, conflict, internal conflict there. But again, I'm not really in connected to the
Yeah,
community in any way these days.
yeah, 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 same. So you said you're going on tour. You want to talk a little bit about what's going on there?
Yeah, so it's in the works at the moment. We're in the planning stages, as some of these things need to be a few months out. So it's looking like it'll be in springtime, come like late March or April. I'm likely going to be able to go touring with one of my friends to do maybe 15 to 20 different cities through the Western US. And he's a DJ and musician who's been doing this for over a decade, and he's got his manager working on one of his bigger tours that he's done, because he's done 3, 4, 5 cities around through Nevada and Utah and
Sure.
California, but now it's like looking to branch out a bit more. So if you want to look him up, his name is Light Language. If you look up on Spotify, that's usually where he
Cool.
has his music. But I'll be going on the road, is what it looks like, taking the sound bath. So all the
Oh
bowls and my
yeah.
hand pan and my instruments, and getting to go and do like opening sets for him, or meditations, or however we want to kind of integrate what I do with what he's doing. So maybe at the closing, maybe at the start. Probably not all the venues. I know some places will be more open to it than others. So some people just want the bass and they just want to go dance, and
Yeah.
that's perfect. More power to them. But I'll probably be on the road for like 6, 8 weeks, touring around. So coming to a city near you, maybe if you're in the Western US, that's
Yeah.
probably where I'll be. So yeah, Colorado, Arizona, we'll be going through Vegas, all through California, the Pacific Northwest. So if you're anywhere roundabouts those cities, we're going to be hitting. Yeah, well, I don't know exactly the schedule and dates yet, but once we get things kind of set up, then they'll be going and getting all the venues booked and all the scheduled out. So I'll let you guys know. But I'm excited to be able to do that and go share what I'm doing in this capacity. So it's going to be super cool to connect with probably some of you listening now as we go out there. So
Margie just wrote wheeling and healing.
wheeling and healing. That's what I'm talking about.
How far north are you going? Are you going like Oregon? Are you going Washington? Do you know
Probably
how
Washington. Yeah, I think it'll be the
cool?
whole coast. Yeah, so we'll go
Shit,
California, start there.
I might have to
We'll
dip
probably
down
go
there.
up. I'm sure we'll hit through like Seattle, Portland. There will be quite a few in California too, but then definitely Vegas as well. A couple in Salt Lake,
Cool.
maybe Southern Utah, Sedona, Arizona. There's some spots around. We'll see where we actually land,
Yeah.
how it actually shakes out. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm excited. So maybe because you're just across the border, right,
Yeah,
from
man. I'm just
Seattle.
north of Seattle, so it's not far at all.
Cool. Well, I'll
Yeah,
let you know. I'll keep everybody in the loop for sure whenever this
please
gets
do.
like dialed in a little more detailed. We're just getting the information with everything, but it's in the process. So I just really got word, more like confirmation yesterday, actually. So
I just love the fact that you're getting an opportunity to just share your gifts,
mhm.
your energy in a space that's so unique and different. And I'm sure
Yeah,
because it's just so cool. Like, and it's to me the most exciting part is the people that aren't expecting what you're gonna bring. That's my
totally.
favorite, right? Because they're gonna hear this and be like,
Yeah.
"What?" And they're gonna be sucked in. Like they're gonna be like a
Hmm.
tractor beam. I mean, they just not
It will
everyone,
be
but
unexpected. Yeah. After that, everything kind of calms
yeah,
down, settles, and then you just hear like the chimes just clear the space and echo, and then everyone just kind of
yeah,
like, okay, settles down. It's gonna be cool. So I'm really excited to see how it turns out. Yeah, so that's upcoming. So that's, yeah, like I said, March, April, a few months out, but
cool.
yeah.
That's awesome, man. Okay,
Mm.
so I wanted to talk a little bit about our physical bodies.
Sure.
I know you came from a bodybuilding and personal training background,
Hmm.
and you're looking to compete again. So I'd love to hear a
Yeah.
little bit about that, where the fire came back again, and I
Mm.
don't know, just talk about that journey.
Yeah. So I got into the gym like late teens, right at the end of high school, and I started into training just right in my early 20s, and that's what I was doing all the way until I started really getting into Reiki just a couple of years ago. So
Yep.
pretty much all of my 20s was just gyms. I was training
Yeah,
people,
yeah,
one-on-one, small groups, even big boot camps. So the most I've trained at a time is like 70, 80 people in like a whole gym. So we have like all the different rows, and it's like on a timer, so it's like very
yeah,
simple
yeah.
exercises and circuits, but so it's been just thousands of people over the last decade, and I was just in it. So doing powerlifting competitions, a bunch of bodybuilding competitions. I've done like 13 or 14.
Wow.
Some of them are drug tested. Some of them are not drug tested. I can do both because I don't use steroids, which is nice. And a lot of people, can't because they do. So they have to go in the
Right.
untested organizations. But
Sure,
that's
sure, sure.
the path that I chose is just to remain natural, and I was doing that through 2018. So that's when I did a bunch of shows. I did like 6 shows that year, something
In
ridiculous.
one
'Cause I was
year.
in one year. Yeah, I did 3 in the spring and
Damn,
3 in the
boy, you must
fall.
have been like your diet must have been dialed because if you're gonna
Yeah, yeah,
do
yeah.
8 shows in a year,
Yeah, I did 6 in a year. Yeah, I did three
oh
in the spring,
yeah,
3 in the fall. Yeah, it was a busy year. So I did that, and then 2019, I'm like, I'm gonna take it off and just focus on like career and focus
yeah,
on myself. And that's when I started doing the like therapy. That's when I started getting Reiki and NLP and biofeedback and
right, right, right,
journaling and
right.
meditating. I'm like not
Yeah,
putting everything
diving
into the
in.
physical. I'm not putting like everything,
Yeah.
this diet, this training, this cardio, like every single day. I'm using that energy towards other things, towards like, helping myself in these other ways. And
Hmm.
the plan was to get back at it. I'm like 2019 off, 2020 is the comeback. 2020 was not the comeback.
Not the comeback.
No, 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 no. That was like the back off. So like I said, I moved to Hawaii, and I was just like, I don't want to go to the gym anymore. I want to be on the beach. I'm not trying to be hot in this like super humid gym anyway. I don't even care to keep doing that. Like, I just wanted to, yeah, be out and be in nature and just be like, enjoy just dancing and meditating and just, yeah, I didn't need to be so serious about that anymore. It was nice to let it go, like let that, holding on to a certain way of being after a long time, especially after like competing at a really high level and kind of being
Right,
known for like the way that I look or how my body is or how
right.
strong I am or winning shows and all of these things. And I'm a coach and I help other people do shows. And it's like very much my identity wrapped around this. So to
Wow.
be able to let that go and just focus on like, no, I'm helping people other ways. I'm helping people with meditation and mindfulness and with their energy and emotions. And so yeah, sound healing, energy healing, coming about it different ways and continuing my own healing journey. Just again, continuing to work with plant medicines and getting work from other practitioners too. I'm not just
Right.
working with people. I think it's important. Anybody that
Yeah.
does work with people, keep getting your own support too, where and when
So
you
important,
can. Yeah, having a
brother.
network of people
So
that can help
important.
you is huge.
This last year has been a battle for me. We continue evolving. I think a lot of people, we're all going through it. We're all going through
Yeah.
something. We're all just moving into more, and
Hmm.
that's something I realized for me is I didn't allow myself to truly reach out to the people I had. Like I
Mm.
have amazing people, but maybe it's ego, maybe it was I don't know, but it was really hard for me to say, hey, I'm not feeling very good. I need some support.
Yeah.
You know.
It's really important to be able to ask for help. Like I came across a situation the other day and I just knew I needed somebody to help me out. So I reached out. I was like, someone came to mind. I'm like, okay, so hey, like, are you free? I was like, feel I need some help. And it's one of those where I could just have my own ego about it. Like, I can do this. I'm a,
I know.
Reiki
Sure.
master. I have all of these tools. I have
Sure.
my crystals. I
Sure.
can do my own
Yeah.
bowls to
Yeah.
myself. Like,
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know what I need to do to help get myself just a little more clear and settled energetically, and then just recognizing that I need to let go and have somebody else support me in this, and being okay with that. Like, okay, yeah, no, I know who it is. I know that I can recognize to the point now that I have that level of awareness and discernment. Like, okay, let's go get some help and ask somebody, and just having that kind of humility too, like asking someone like, can you help me? It's kind of admitting that you can't do it, and that's okay. That's okay.
Every single time that I have surrendered to that pull to ask for help, it's
Mhm.
always been this,
The best
you
thing.
know, the best thing,
Yes.
and it brings you so much it just brings you back into what you needed to
Hmm.
in your center. And so that's a really good message, man. I think that's everybody who's, I don't care what you do, just don't be scared to reach out to the ones that see you and the ones that can help you. Cause
Yeah.
I think a lot of us have those people,
Hmm.
and if you don't, I don't think you have to look very far.
They're out there. Yeah, there
Yeah.
are many, many people that are looking to be of
Yeah.
service and of support to other people. So if you need it, if you're someone that needs that support and
Yeah.
help, like they're out there. We're out there.
Mhm. Did when you said, it was nice to let go of the, because you competed. I never competed,
Uh-huh.
but I've been pretty obsessed, with
Hmm.
the gym. I've been pretty obsessed with my health and, my physique and looking a certain way. When you said it was nice to let go, was it easy for you to let go of that? Like, was it just like, oh, finally, like,
Mm.
fuck it, I'm gonna let go, or was, I'd
It
love to
kind of
know what
it
that.
kind of just it was a natural shift because I was in the gym 7 days a week for like years, and I'd miss a day. Things happen. When I say seven
Sure.
days, like, oh, you went every day. Like, okay,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
that, but like for the most part, yeah, I might not be like in the gym a couple days a month for just years because I'm not just working out. I go there to my days off, but I'm working every single day. I'm in there all day helping other people, and everything closed down. Yeah, the gyms closed down. I didn't go back. And then when I moved out to Kauai, I'm like, do I really want to even go back? It's been a couple months. I haven't been in the gym. I feel good. I've been hiking almost every day. Like my hips feel better. Like my body kind of feels better. I'm getting a little lighter. My clothes are all baggy, but it was whatever. I feel good. I'm lean. I'm light. I don't need to eat so
Right,
much. I'm doing like naturally intermittent fasting, getting on my own like
right.
natural sleep schedule and rhythm, and
Mhm.
just tuning into what my body like wants to eat, and not just be in this rush of like gym, 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 working all the
Yeah,
time, being so in my head. Like I just don't need to. So for me, it was kind of nice because I did have to take it to a pretty rigorous level for quite a
sure.
while to be competing and doing well at it. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. So it was really nice just to let that go. And yeah, dropping down 30 pounds.
Right, which is no joke, man.
It's a
Like,
lot,
that's a
yeah, because I'm
lot.
I'm not I'm not that big to begin with. So everything I got, I like built up. I built it, built it, built it, built it, and that, like I said, it's how people knew me, and that's just getting into that own personal like identity, like wrapping
Right.
up around this idea of who I am, or I'm valuable because I look this way, or people say, I
Ooh,
even look, I have trophies that say it, like I'm important or I'm good at this, or it's not true. It's a cool thing, I suppose, but that's not me. It's something that I did. It's just a
yeah,
snapshot. Like that's not me.
that's been a consistent battle for me, I think. And it's not easy to talk about, but it's like, I know what I've looked like. I know what I've, been,
Yeah.
oh, I look like this and people see me like this. And then, but I know how I, like, in this last few years, I broke my clavicle in
Uh,
2020. So that was the most
yeah.
humbling experience of my life. I'm doing what I love. I'm mountain biking. I'm in the Pacific Northwest in the mecca of mountain biking. I'm having the best life. And then boom, break my clavicle. Now I can't bike. I can't ride
Hmm.
my, I can't lift. It was like boom. But it was for me. As
Yeah.
crazy as that was for me to
Yeah.
sit the fuck down
It
and
forced you to slow down. Yeah.
realize like you are so much more than that.
Hmm.
And it was a battle, man. Like I remember 3 weeks later, I'm in the gym doing leg press with my arm like this, and
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I doing?
Right.
Like, what am I doing? But it was more ego than anything. It was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
no, I can't. Well, if I get to lose this, I might as well not lose my legs. So, I'm
Sure.
gonna keep going, keep building my
Right.
legs, and
Right.
but
Right.
when I'm healed, my legs will be mad. Like that was the mindset.
Hmm.
I was like, I'm gonna make sure my bottom half is beastly,
Right. Right.
And I
Right.
was like, what is happening? And then I remember coming out of that and healing, and well, I broke it a second time surfing, but that's another story. Yeah, I rebroke it in the same spot because I didn't wait long enough. Because
Oh yeah.
that's
Yeah. Okay, you got retaught the lesson, huh?
uh-huh. Just another one. I mean, first time lessons are nice, but I like them like 300-400 times.
Right. Yeah. Just to make sure. Just to make sure. We just
Just to
covered the
make sure.
bases.
But I remember
Man.
coming out of that and then kind of rebuilding my body in a different way, and realizing like me at 185, 190 is ooh, I feel good. Like, I feel different. Like
Hmm.
I still feel strong. I look healthy. But it was different. And so I'm really finding that balance right now, because I know what it takes for me to stay at 200, 205
Hmm.
at 6 foot and being a skinny kid my whole life. That's a lot of food. Like you talked about food, the amount of
Right.
food it takes
Right.
all day, every day is
Hmm.
insane.
I get it.
And I just don't feel good. So now I'm really coming to a place of true acceptance on, what my body needs, trusting what my body needs, eating what I need, and not worrying about 300 grams of protein. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
but
I
it's a
totally
battle.
get it. Yeah, but and to be able to let that go because your body has its own natural kind of set point in a way.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
can force your body in some ways. You can.
Sure.
Like you hear about bodybuilders like a force feeding themselves and how they say is like food is fuel. It's not for enjoyment. Like, okay, yeah, you can like dampen down all of the responses and signals your body's telling you, being like,
Yeah.
stop, stop, and like actually give me
No.
fruit or something. Like please no more chicken and rice, like please.
Right.
And you know you're detaching, you're kind of damaging and dissolving that relationship, that integration between mind, body,
Mm.
spirit, like all of those pieces together,
Yeah.
because you're forcing it into like an idea or concept, like I need to look this way, or I'm good if
Yep.
I'm 200
Yep.
pounds or 100
Yep.
or whatever this is for
Oh,
you, where it's but it's not natural. So like when I stopped like lifting, like again being like really about it like I was, I naturally just shift to more like where my body wants to be, and I feel light, I have good energy, my mind is
yeah.
clear. um yeah, so it's finding that balance between everything else too. So when you're not putting as much into the gym, needing to force feed all the day, cook all the time, eat it or work out every single day of the week,
Right.
then you can start to focus on the mental health, the emotional health, health with your relationships, your career, your finances, your spiritual health, like
Yeah.
everything else that makes up who you are, more than just the vehicle. Like, yes,
Yeah.
take care of your body, but doesn't need to be the only thing. Don't let everything else go like ragged
Well,
because you're putting just the focus here.
and that's just it, right? Eventually, something is going to come out of balance by you putting all
Oh
your
yeah.
focus into one
Yes.
thing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just nature.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Yeah,
that's
and it
cool.
can be coming from anywhere, all these different like wells. It's like where are you putting that water? You only have so much energy. Like where are
Yeah.
we pouring it into? And maybe it's all the gym, and then you just can't find you can hold a steady relationship because you just aren't having the time, and you're just so focused on yourself, and everything here is like more important. That's a side effect that can happen. I mean, that does
Yeah.
happen, but it could. And maybe your money's not great because you're just focused on other things. You're focused on being
Right.
buff and getting girls, and now you're not working, and you're spending
Yeah.
money going on like dates, trying to like wear fancy clothes to dress up your fancy body
Uh,
to get your fancy girl. And then it turns out you're like, okay, well now what? So and then you break your
yeah.
clavicle, and where are you? Like, what do you have? You're in debt. That's where you are with no
It's,
body and nothing else. Like,
well,
so.
it's so funny. Like I look back at, because I've been in the gym for, I don't know, 15, 16 years,
Hmm.
pretty consistently. And I
Yeah.
love it. I really do love it. It's a
Yeah.
big part of me having so much energy as a generator. Like it's a
Totally.
place where I can just release some of that health in a healthy way. And um, but I remember I remember looking at it in my 20s, even early 30s, like I love health. Health is everything. I really love to just this is a health lifestyle. I just
Yeah.
cared about looking good, man. Like,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
it was an ego thing, and I can see that now, and even now I
Uh,
battle it. Like, I still want to look good, but I don't want it to be the thing. I
yeah.
I, I
Yeah.
want to
Right.
feel good, but
Yeah.
so it's a new understanding of myself now, and I look at it
Hmm.
wasn't really about health, because I was probably crushing how many like pre-workouts, and I don't know, and all of the
Totally. Dude, you're
right,
on like half a gram of like what is this, caffeine a day?
yeah,
Yeah, just taking like double scoop pre-workouts,
right.
and then oh my gosh. Yeah.
So health is not. Hey Nick, health is not. It's just so funny what I thought health was, or what I thought
Right.
I thought that I needed to show people what health was. I don't know. It's so funny. Are you approaching this differently? Are you approaching this new season? I guess you going into competition again in any
Uh-huh.
different way? in a different way?
Um, yeah, I mean, I just want to feel good the whole time. Like that's a
Hmm.
piece too, is I've gone in competitions where I'm feeling like so bad because I'm not nourishing myself. I'm really just
Right.
like stripping away all these nutrients because I know that my body will lose fat and lose weight if I eat this way, but it's like not good. I'm like slowly starving myself, but managing it by like having the supplements and keeping protein high and like preserving as much muscle as possible. But now I'm like, okay, am I having my greens every day? Am I getting probiotics every day? Am I having fiber every day? Am I getting enough sleep every day? I'm getting my water every day. And like the net other things are naturally just kind of like the extras.
Hmm.
Now it's like more just overall like health, good digestion, being
Yeah.
able to take a day to just, stretch and mobilize and not be pushing through when I feel like I'm going to be hurt or something like that I would used to do. I'd be like, oh, I'm just going to keep on going anyway. So now it's much more like recovery, overall well-being, and like balance with my body. So yeah, it's different. It's kind of different how I'm going into it this time. I'm not
Yeah.
going to be limiting to forcing my body this way by kind of starving it. I want to be like really much more. I can eat a lot of just plants and plants and plants. It's low low calorie, like
Is
high
it,
nutrient density with low calories, and I can just eat much more like salads and vegetables and things like this too. So much more of that, and just not being so like stuffing pounds of of just meat, just chicken into my body every single day.
do you feel like you had to do like, is this a new, just, is this common knowledge? Like, can you do what you said you're going to do and
Mm,
get the results that you want to get? Because I mean, you're
hmm.
competing in the end, right?
Yeah.
You're wanting to show your physique
Hmm.
in a way that is optimal. So
Yeah.
is this new research for you, or is this kind of just
It's a slow adaptation of just knowing how my body responds, and then just through my own like experience and understanding of working with a lot of other people too. So I've prepped other people for competitions and
right? Of
trained like,
course,
hundreds of different clients. So and then just
right?
all the times I've gone through the process myself, I know what works and that I
Yeah,
don't actually need to eat like you said, like 300 grams of protein a day or something. Like it's a lot. There's been points where I'm eating like a dozen eggs every single day and like 2 3 pounds of chicken.
yeah,
Like it's a lot. It's a lot. And then all the sweet potatoes and all the rice and just eating, just constantly eating. So now I'm finding that I'm still like gaining weight. I'm still getting stronger, but I'm not constantly like bloated and feeling like heavy
yeah,
and kind of like weird from just constantly like all
right.
the stress on my body of needing to eat
Mhm.
all the time. So I intermittent fast. I eat like twice a day. I
Cool,
just eat two big meals and I feel good. Yeah, I feel much better, get energy, more
beautiful.
consistent. I'm still like getting back to where I want to be without needing to be so crazy. So yeah, understanding that there's progress and not needing to be like, it needs to be faster and more and faster. Just seeing, things are going in the right direction. I'm feeling good, checking in with myself, take a day off when I need it. So it's much
Cool,
more balanced, it feels these days. Yeah.
good, man.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. I It's been an hour already, believe it or not. But I like to ask a few final questions to my
Yeah.
guests.
Yeah. Let's go.
So if you were gonna be, you have a choice because you've never been on the show before. You can either
Sure.
I'm gonna either push you into a little bit of vulnerability, maybe something you want to share of your life that can bring some value to everybody here, or maybe just some wisdom, something you've picked up along the way that you think can help someone here in their journey. No pressure.
Um, hmm. So you're saying some wisdom or something about myself that might be helpful to
Yeah,
people?
something vulnerable that maybe you haven't shared. Maybe you feel like you need to express it that you haven't in a while, or maybe you never
Hmm.
have, or maybe a piece of wisdom you've picked up along the way.
Hmm. That's a good question. So something that comes to mind just around like everything that happened with what I did too is like when I sold everything and like moved and kind of jumped, that's when I got a lot of questions from people. They're like, how did you do that? Because
Mm,
like I can't do that. You just did it. You just like pick up and just move to Hawaii and like
right,
what are
right,
you
right,
doing
right,
out
right,
there?
right.
Do you have a job? I'm like, well, I'm my job. I'm gonna take care of it. So
Yes.
something not okay, it's a couple of things as having a level of trust in yourself and then just in the universe and just like the guidance, like your internal guidance system that you're being pulled to something. If there's that unknown, like you can't know everything. You can't know it. So it's part of like accepting that you can't know, and there will be a part that's like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that if I jump out of this nest, I'm going to be able to fly before I hit the ground. So something, I guess this is just maybe some encouragement
I
to
love it.
anybody that's kind of on the edge of something that's like, I can't see, there's the veil, right? I'm not sure what's quite past it, but you are being pulled towards the thing. Trust that you're going to be given everything that you need to manage that thing, to be able to receive that into your life, and for you to be able to be successful in it. And it's not going to be immediate always, and that's okay too. Like, trust that right when you get, it's not like, right, it's success. Like, what is it now? It's been almost 2 years, and I have 300,000 people on TikTok, and it's like, oh, you see me? I'm
Yeah,
like doing the
brother.
sound bath, and there's like all these
Right.
thousands of people in here, and everything's happening,
Yeah.
and it's this. And I put myself into debt when I moved to Hawaii. I was like, we're going to go out there. And then I just don't have a job, and I'm not getting unemployment. And now rent's way more expensive, and I need to buy a car, and I'm not getting the clients, and I don't have any TikTok yet. I don't have any clients yet. But I was like, no, this is the right
Ooh.
thing. I'm not just going to like bail. And I just like stick to it. It's like,
Uh-huh.
no, another month, another month. And what can I do different? And what can I do different? I'm like, I have the answer. Like, I'm here for a reason. I'm not going to do this. And that's my thoughts behind this, where even when everything around me is showing me that I'm maybe like failing, I'm like, no, I'm on the path, and right now it's just going really slow. Like, I'm going forward though. I'm staying here. I'm staying the course. So trust yourself, trust your intuition, trust your guidance. It's going to work out. And that unknown, that's kind of the exciting part about it.
Oh, it is.
So that's just some thoughts. So hopefully this can be encouragement. It took me months before anything really, started going and kicking up and growing. And it was me being open to being vulnerable and making video. I never made videos
Yeah,
before. I'm
yeah,
not coming on and I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? This is a new thing. And like
yeah,
sharing in a whole
yeah.
new way I'd never done before. That was way more successful than anything else that I'd done
Right.
before. And it was after months of nothing, and people being like, oh, are you going to move back home? Like, how's business out there?
Yeah,
How's their
yeah.
work? Everyone's wondering. You're like living in Hawaii.
Oh,
Like, is everything okay? Are you going to make it? And yeah, people just have their ideas of your life and how you should live it or what's possible. And just don't let that limit you, please. If you feel the pull, you feel the inspiration to draw towards something, anything
go.
towards you that is like your
Yeah.
passion, your excitement, your desire, a way that you can support your life and others around you in your life, then go. It's gonna work out. That's thoughts. So I hope that helps somebody, anybody in
Oh,
here.
so good. It gave me absolute goosebumps
Let's
because
go.
2020, I quit my six-figure job for the government of Canada. I
Hmm.
had a great gig. Everybody said, you can't, you're stupid to leave this in the middle of COVID. What are you doing? It's one of the
Hmm.
only jobs that's secure. You're a essential worker. You're all this
Right.
stuff. And I'm like, no, I just know. I had no TikTok. I had
Yeah.
the only following I had were friends on Facebook and friends on Instagram.
Uh-huh.
And it took, and just like you said, 3 to 4 months for me.
Yep.
And I was in this space where I'm like, I almost called my boss going, can I get rehired after I left?
Right,
Like,
right.
like I'm fucking that close. And the way
Yeah.
you're saying it, it's everything, man, because it's like that. Oh, it's like there's something there I can't explain. I can't verbalize to you guys. You're not going to understand what I'm feeling, but I know
Hmm.
that something is shifting. And it happened, man. And it just happened. And it's just like, ah, so good, dude. Thanks for sharing that. That was freaking brilliant. Love it.
Yeah,
Got
happy
me
to
all
share.
fired up.
Of course.
Yeah. So one last question.
Okay.
Since the show is called Alive with Joey, what is bringing you alive right now? What makes you feel alive in your life right now?
Um, hmm. I think it's just getting into music. Like it's been so nice being able to play music like every single day. I still do almost every day. I'm either playing guitar, playing handpan, and I share a little bit with people just when I post a little video. But a lot of the time, it's just myself. Like, it brings me joy.
Love it.
I like playing. I love that just that creation process, that expression process, being able to just have something come through that I'd never heard before, like a different rhythm, a different pattern, a different melody, different words and lyrics, things just like flowing through is such a beautiful experience. So to be in that just full creative energy musically lately is something that's really been, yeah, getting me excited. So,
Love it.
yeah.
Love it. And the message for me has been to dive into that more because I love to play guitar. I love to sing. I love to just sit in this office by myself and just sing my
Yeah.
ass off.
Let's
Like, and
go.
that really brings my vibe, my energy up. So,
Hmm.
well,
Good.
brother, I just want to say thank you so much for taking your time and joining us on the show and spreading your light and your story. And yeah, I just really appreciate it, brother.
Definitely. Thank you. I appreciate you having me on. This
Yeah.
was awesome. This was great for
Yeah.
sure. So everybody who's coming
Good.
in, dropping comments, dropping love, supporting us.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in. And yeah, this was great. I hope my, journey or my stories or
Of
insights
course.
or thoughts on things, hopefully this was helpful in some kind of way, got you some insight or some inspiration or whatever this is for you.
Exactly.
So I guess, yeah, if anybody here is again new to me, if you want to find me anywhere, just Reiki Robert on all socials. So TikTok, Instagram,
Sweet.
YouTube, you can find me on any of those three.
And we'll make sure
Um,
to post it all in the description here in the
okay, sweet.
YouTube. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Sweet, brother. Well, thanks
Okay,
everybody. Make sure to go follow Robert on all his social. Like the video. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. And Robert, just hang out in the back here for us while we finish
sure.
off. And I appreciate you all. We'll see you next Wednesday. See you guys.